Welcome back, everyone. I have another interesting yet entirely predictable story that I wish to share. There's another fine article written by none other than Bounding Into Comics titled, Former Marvel's Avengers Design Lead No Longer Acting as Crystal Dynamics Spokesperson After Tweets That Don't Align with Studio Values Come Under Scrutiny. The article will be linked in the description below. As the title of the article plainly asserts, Brian Waggoner has made a few comments and jokes on Twitter that has led to Crystal Dynamics making the decision to remove Waggoner as the spokesperson. But to make it clear, Waggoner was not fired. He was just demoted. My word, not theirs. So, before I get down to the nitty-gritty, I will first explain my agenda for this video. I will be reading tweets from Waggoner, and as I do so, you should see a theme progressing. After that theme has been established, I will finally be giving you my thoughts. My thoughts should give you a clear understanding of why this situation is not only newsworthy, but it should clearly articulate how far censorship will go. Let us begin with me sharing with you what I said in my previous video, titled, Ubisoft and Riot Form Censorship Club, because my prediction is paramount to understanding the news in this video. Listen closely to my prediction. They start making a beeline to certain game servers and start banning people left and right? Or will they start interfering with private chats and private calls between friends? I don't think my prediction was going to come true this quickly. However, I'm not shocked that my prediction is starting with employees. Let's now look at some of his tweets. I quote, Fighting over the internet is like being in the Special Olympics. Even if you win, you are still a retard. Well, as funny as that is, I don't see the rage-inducing material Stardust claims is so awful. Waggoner made a joke, and if Stardust is incapable of understanding that, how can that be Waggoner's problem? The next tweet reads as follows. Imagine if the outcome about Kaepernick not standing for the national anthem was the same about humans of color being murdered by police. Waggoner seemed to reply with this. Imagine if that outrage was the same as blacks killing blacks. Well, black-on-black crime notwithstanding, another tweet reads like this. Just remember, every time you treat a Trump voter as the enemy, or a moron, you're just reinforcing why we voted for him. We all have our reasons, and it isn't some blanket approval of everything he does. This specific tweet seems awfully tame, considering the even-handedness of the message. Continuing with more tweets, Waggoner seemed to share his opinion regarding Jane Foster as the female Thor in this way. I'm not a woman hater, misogynist, or bigot, but I really don't like the idea of female Thor. I love strong women characters, but not this. This tweet was perfectly reasonable and expressed clearly. Calling this tweet misogynistic is reading too much into this comment. Waggoner, in this next tweet, appears to lament the reality of what his Twitter feed consisted of at the time of these exchanges. I quote, It is days like today where I'm reminded how my Twitter feed is full of leftist bigots trying to make strawman arguments about right-wingers. Waggoner also stated the obvious as he explains that ad hominem attacks aren't arguments. I quote, Every time you mock or call a conservative a bigoted, racist homophobe, you call perfectly rational people that who don't fit the stereotype. Unfortunately, it appears as if Waggoner was compelled to bend the knee, as it were, after being reprimanded by his employer, no doubt, which is why, I assume, he delivered this message. Over the weekend, old tweets I wrote from before my time at Crystal Dynamics resurfaced, and I apologize and make full accountability for the hurt they caused to my followers, the community, and those I work with. Since that time, I have learned and grown, and the content I posted doesn't reflect who I am today, he insisted. I understand if you cannot accept my apology because of the pain I have caused. I will continue to listen, learn, and work to improve myself. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road, and my prediction becomes apparent. I predicted that these companies would start banning you, silencing you, or otherwise imposing their tyrannical speech restrictions upon you. Here we have Mr. Waggoner, who was wrongfully disciplined for exercising his freedom of speech. The bottom line is, Waggoner's comments are of no concern to Crystal Dynamics, especially when Waggoner is off duty and expressing his opinions on his own time. Again, what Waggoner does in his own time is literally none of Crystal Dynamics' business. If I were Waggoner, I would be getting a team of lawyers together to sue this silly crap out of Crystal Dynamics. But just for a moment, let's turn the tables on the gaming industry. Wasn't it Skill Up who angrily barked about someone else's opinion on abortion? Did the author of this Skill Up tweet get reprimanded for expressing his opinion? He didn't. Why is that? Could it have something to do with the fact that the sentiment expressed was of a left-leaning nature? So, to confirm, we are talking about one-sided discrimination. Do I have that right? What about this tweet from Cuckman? If I am to weigh comments and opinions with the same delicate sensibilities of liberals, would this tweet be deemed just as insensitive? Well, if that's the case, I demand Cuckman step down. There are many other examples to share, but this video is already much too long. So, take all this information, what you will. Please like, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. Give me your opinion about this topic in the comment section below, and I promise I will never delete your comments. Because I'm not like Cuckman, and I'm not like Skill Up, and I'm certainly not like Crystal Dynamics. It's free speech or nothing. Until next time, friends, have fun.